Dun, dun. What is up, everyone? Scott Brandt coming to you live on this beautiful Tuesday late evening. Hopefully, everyone had a great day. Hopefully, everybody's Tuesday was awesome. Spoke to Patrick today on the phone, first time in maybe 2.5 weeks. So it was great to hear his voice. I know he's on the mend. Excited to have him come back and working in tandem with two native sons and just going out there and doing big things and whatnot. So, but it's interesting because I've got this titled Your Story and ILT. And of course, we understand your story. So each of us has a story somebody else needs to hear. And then you're probably asking yourself, ILT, what the heck is ILT? And that stands for Invest, Learn, Teach. And it comes into play with your story. But also, there is information that you have, and I'll talk about some different examples that you have at your disposal to share with others and grow your business, grow the value that you provide somebody, just different avenues. But you've got to just step up, get out of your own way, and show up and do it. So it's so with your story, got a book, one of the many books that I have here. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah. So The Gift of Struggle. And so think about that. That title is very powerful when you think about it. And they talk about life-changing lessons about leading. But let me ask you, when you think about what that title means to you, what comes to mind? Because the powerful thing with the struggle, and I've talked about this, and I'm a very big proponent that your struggle is your gift. Your struggle is part of your journey that is meant to be shared with others. So how many of you are looking at the struggle that you are dealing with right now and are trying to run away from it, or you don't want to face it and you're like, get out of here? But you got to think that the struggle that you are facing right now or that you've had in your past has occurred for a reason. And you're like, a struggle occurring for a reason. Why? That's just when you truly look at it, struggles occur for a reason. A lot of times your struggles are going to pop up to promote growth, to promote progress, because to get to that next level, you have to be at a certain level. You have to be a certain person to get to that next level. And guess what? Struggles will allow you to promote and progress and grow to get to that next level. So you got to embrace struggles. But it's unique because when struggles occur, how many people are trying to run away from them? How many people try to back up? They get scared, they get upset, and they don't truly look at the struggle as an opportunity to have a message that you're able to share with somebody else. And that comes in a point where your message that you have could be that 1 degree change that somebody else needs. You could start the trajectory for that individual to make the change, to get to that next point that they need to get to, overcome a struggle that they're dealing with. So embrace it, love it. I know it's crazy to think about. Let me embrace and love a struggle, because struggles have a negative connotation, and but the struggle is there for a reason. And so this book is very powerful. There's a couple of things that really stick out. And the first thing in here is we all struggle. Inside every struggle is a gift. Right there. Inside every struggle is a gift. And when you have a gift, that's meant to be shared with whoever. It's meant to be shared. And so leaders share their gifts with others. And now they're talking about leaders, and think about the impact that you can create as a leader if you get in that role. But that's the other thing. I've talked about leadership before, and you'll have individuals that are like, I want to be a leader, but then are they truly being a true leader? Or are they just talking to talk and just be the loudest person heard, and they're not ready for it? Being a leader is not easy. Being a leader is a tough gig to have. But I think that also comes into play as a leader. You've got to show up as your true solid self. And that's not easy for people. People try to put up a front, people try to show up as their pseudo self, and they end up jacking themselves up because they're not showing up as their true self. And so that's one thing that really stuck out. And you've got to tell your story. You have a story. You've got to tell it. Somebody else needs to hear it. And so you can't be scared. You need to take the spotlight off of yourself and share your story and put the spotlight on other people. And so in here it said, if you don't step up and tell the story that gives you identity and purpose, your people will be left on their own, trying to guess what matters to you and why. Man, think about that. So who you are as an individual, you have an identity. But if you don't share your story, people don't know who you truly are. People don't know what is near and dear to you as an individual. And so it can cause confusion. It can make it very tough to understand what really drives somebody, because if you're not sharing your story, it's hard for people to understand. And so it's not easy. And this is the thing, that the struggle, that story that you have, the gift that's meant to be shared with others, it's a core for a lot of leaders. Hence the reason they don't want to show it, because that's having to be transparent, that's having to be vulnerable. And you run into the issue of people not liking you, being judged, some crazy stuff, whatever it is. And so, man, you just got to say, screw that shit. Show up, tell your story. Somebody needs to hear it. Take the spotlight off of yourself, put it on somebody else, and go and do it. And so I look for myself, I'm very open with what I speak on, what I talk on, because it's part of the story. But before I got to that level where I was comfortable just openly talk, I was like, no, I'm not. Nope. I didn't want to share it, just because I have the normal idea that it's a sign of weakness, and I've screwed up and I made a mistake and all that crazy shit. Whatever you're thinking, got to get over it. Got to just go out there and do it. And let me see here. The last thing, let me see. Yep. Was always be a student. And so when you think about that, what does that mean to you? Always be a student. You've got a lot of individuals that have a lot of education, have a lot of knowledge, and they stop learning. They stop looking for ways to grow. And you've always got to be a student. There's always somebody out there doing more than you, that's doing better than you. So you've got to be a student, always be in student mode so you can learn. And that goes into the ILT. And one thing that I share, I talk about is the divorce. And it really blew my mind. Shared this on the podcast this past weekend for the divorce podcast. And it really drives home the point that you've got to work on yourself. You've got to do the internal work to impact the external world. But it starts with your internal world. It starts with you working on yourself. So the sad statistic that I came across was, for first marriages, 50% end in divorce. That's crazy. Half of marriages end in divorce. But I look at it, and the issue we run into is a lot of people haven't grown, haven't matured. And so they're at a point where they're looking for somebody else to come and fill the hole whatever they're missing. But then you're dealing with another person. So you're dealing with two people that are looking to the other person to fill a hole. And then you look at it, and they were shown that for a second marriage, those end in divorce 67% of the time. Just sad. But it goes back to the fact that a lot of people don't do the work on themselves. They end up getting into a marriage, having to go through divorce, don't work on themselves, and then they bring all the garbage and the shit from the past with them, and that impacts that next relationship. And then the last statistic for this that blew my mind was third marriages end in divorce 74% of the time. That's makes you scratch your head. But it goes back and really drives home the point of what I talk about and what I share, where you've got to do the work. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to complete yourself. Nobody else can do that. You've got to be the one that completes yourself. The other person, the other party is there as a complement to who you are. But you can't look outside of yourself for something that you can give yourself. So if you're not willing to love yourself and you're trying to get this from somebody else, good luck, because you're dealing with somebody that's dealing with the same shit and is probably not working on themselves. And so that's the power of your mind. That's the power of your mindset. That's the power of that internal work. But people don't want to do it. We get in this comfort zone, we get comfortable, and we just don't like to push out and break past those boundaries because it's comfortable. So we like it. Status quo. Screw that shit. Get out of here with that. Go do big things. But you got to work on yourself. And this all concludes with the ILT. And so with the lives, whatever you're doing, if you're doing a blog, if you're typing up a newsletter, ILT, that's stands for invest, learn, teach. And so you can go read a book. You can go watch a documentary. You can go through a seminar. You can go through whatever it is and invest in yourself, learn about it, and turn around and teach it to others. But how many of you are doing that? And if you're not doing it, why are you not doing it? You have too many people that are scared and they're like, well, if I share this information, somebody's going to steal it. And then maybe they'll steal my idea. Okay, cool. You got to remember, businesses can be imitated. But what separates businesses from everybody else is the story that you bring to that business. Nobody can imitate your story. And so don't be scared. If somebody steals your idea, cool. Go out there and compete. See who brings something better to the marketplace. But the ILT method, it's gold. It's stuff that you have at your disposal that you can share. And there's so much out there. But I find it powerful because when I was going through this webinar tonight, the individual that was leading the webinar was speaking on the fact that you have notes. And guess what? Those notes are uncashed checks if you don't share the notes. So do you go to the seminar and then turn around and share what you learned? Or do you go to the seminar and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then you just like throw the notes to the side. Take advantage. Go help teach somebody else. Go help shape and change the life of somebody else. Why are you scared to take the notes that you have and share them with your audience? Share them with whoever. Are you scared that, oh my goodness, they're going to say you're reading off the notes, you're sharing somebody else's information? Cool. Guess what? Sometimes those individuals don't reach the people that you know. Your circle of influence that you have may not know about this person. So share the information because you never know what happens. And it's powerful when you think about this opportunity of ILT, invest, learn, teach, what do you have at your fingertips right now that you can turn around and teach others? Jump on a live. I would highly suggest doing a live, but if you're scared, start with 30 seconds. Guess what? Small, simple steps are going to lead to very large changes, but you've got to do it. Take advantage of the platforms. Take advantage of live video, of live stream. If you've got an idea and you want to start a podcast, go do it. Guess what? You have an audience that you'll reach. Certain people aren't going to want to listen to you, which is cool, because that's interesting when you think about it. You start a podcast and you tell your friends and family, and they may support you. But there's also the very unique aspect that I've seen, and I've talked to Garrett, and Garrett's talked about this, that you'll have people that come on the podcast, you're excited, you share it, and then your guest doesn't share the information. You're like, what's going on here? I had you come on here, and you're not going to share it? Man, like, did you not enjoy your time? Are you that selfish? It's so easy. It's just a little share button, click it, share it, let people know about it and whatnot. But you know what? It's so easy. Like, you see these memes about how easy it is to support a small business, even if you don't buy something from them. Leave a review, share their posts, like their posts, leave a comment. How hard is it to leave a comment? So you're friends with these people and they're doing the damn job and they're trying to build something, but you're just sitting there watching. So are you a true friend or are you this fake friend that's like, yeah, good job? No, it's like, man, go do it. Go help them out. Because even if it doesn't benefit you and the information, the content's not for you, you probably know somebody that could benefit from that content. So go share it. Go find somebody that needs it and help them out. Don't be a selfish jerk and say, oh, I know that I've got some information here, but I'm not going to share it. Don't do that. Just go out there and share. You just never know. So, man, it's social media. It gives you a lot of power, a lot of abilities and whatnot to help out people. But do you take advantage of the social media? But, oh, man. So the thing that you have to be mindful about if you're doing lives with ILT, the two most important factors when it comes to your lives or videos, whatever it is one is your headline, your description. Because you got to remember, you've got to create a description or a headline that's going to stop the scroll and get somebody to watch. So that's the first part. And then the second is your CTA, your call to action. Oh man, when people bring this up, and I've heard this talked about it a couple of times, the CTA is the call to action. So that's what you're directing people, saying, hey, do this. This is what I needed to do. But it's so funny. It's like, why do I need to do a CTA? Like, we're humans, we're individuals, we're grown adults. Why do I need to tell somebody this is what you need to do? But humans are funny creatures. Humans are funny when it comes to this stuff, that, man, if you don't tell them that this is what needs to happen, it ain't happening. And so that's the other important thing with your lives, if you're doing them, is your CTA. Even if you're doing a blog, you've got to have a CTA, because without a CTA, how do you expect to build your business? And so that's one of the things when I end my lives is the CTA, that the call to action is, if you are sitting and you don't feel like you have the support, you don't have somebody that's there for you, you feel and you know that you have a dream, a vision, a passion in your spirit, but you don't know how to get it out, or you don't have the community, you don't have the tribe that's there to support you and that can help you pull that out, reach out to myself, reach out to Patrick, reach out to individuals that, if you go look at past videos, go reach out to those people that are making comments. A lot of times the people that are watching the videos are part of my network, part of our network. And so they're there supported. And so reach out to them. But if you don't reach out and you don't get the help that you need to be able to pull it out, how do you expect to grow? Oh man, it comes down, and I've shared this, the fact that as humans, you got so many people that think they can do it on their own. And so they try to do everything, and then they shoot themselves in the foot because they end up jacking up or they burn out. And so that's why I'm grateful to be able to partner up with Patrick with Two Native Sons. And like I told him, I was like, the last 2.5 weeks has been fun, but I'm grateful that he's back, that he's on the mend. So hopefully here soon he's on the videos. We're doing lives together and whatnot, going and doing what we normally do. But I was like, you know what? I've got your back. Take care, get healthy and whatnot. And so that makes it unique. That makes it powerful when you're building a business to have a partner. Because if you end up getting sick or you burn out, there's nobody behind you having your back to keep growing and keep doing what you need to. But it's the fear that people have of, well, I really can't trust people. Well, if you're thinking that, that's what you're constantly going to find. You're going to find people that you can't trust, because what you focus on is what's going to expand. Where you put the energy is what's going to expand. So if you're expanding and you're thinking about people that you can't trust anybody, that's what you're going to find. That's what you're going to attract. So you just got to keep an open mind, meet with people, and build those relationships, because you just never know what comes out of the relationships. So it's just some things to think about. But I do, within the notes that I had for the ILT stuff, if you have any questions, if you'd like information, reach out to me. I'll share my notes. So that way you can end up prepping and doing what you need to in regards to creating your lives, creating your videos, whatever it is, to enhance engagement, to build your business, to do what you need to. So, but like I already said it earlier, if you got anything, if you got any questions, you need somebody to talk to, man, don't hesitate, reach out, ask for help. Don't be scared, because if you're letting the fear hold you back, you're going to miss out big time on whatever you're trying to accomplish. And so you can't let the fear hold you back. Drive into the fear. The fear is there for a reason. Acknowledge it and say, okay, I see you, fear, but I'm going to bust right through you. So go ahead and stand right there. I'll pull out the bat and I'll start swinging away. We'll knock you down and whatnot. But yeah, you just got to embrace it. You got to go and do what you need to and bust through the wall and just get on the backside. But remember, it's tough doing it yourself. It's not easy trying to do it yourself, because you got to remember, every situation you're involved in, the person that's there 100% of the time is yourself. And so if things keep on doing some screwy shit and it's all wonky, who is the factor of everything? That would be you, because you're there at 100% in everything. And so you've got to step back and look and be like, okay, what do I need to adjust? What do I need to do differently? And so you've got to do the work, but it's not really not easy. I just don't think it's fun for people sometimes, because now you've got to adjust and you got to get out of your comfort zone, and you've got to embrace something that maybe you don't truly like or you're scared. So embrace it, love it, squeeze it, caress it, do what you need to. Say, oh, very nice, let's go. I got you. So, but if you have anything, like I said, if you have anything, reach out. Would love to hear any aha moments you took away from this video, any value that was shared. I don't know. Everybody's going to take away something different, I guess, but some people may watch it and be like, I took nothing away. And so actually, before I get off here, this is very powerful. Let me see here. I'm trying. I'd written it down. Oh, so the biggest thing when it comes to doing your lives, well, another big thing. So we've already talked about the headline, the description, your CTA. This is very powerful when you think about it. Is the individuals that watch your lives, read your blog, whatever it is, When they walk away, do they take value with them from whatever they watched or read? Regardless if they end up doing business with you or they buy your product or they take up your service, even if they don't do business with you, are they walking away with value that's going to change their life? That's going to change something for them that they can potentially turn around and share with others. So ultimately, think about that. Are you going out there and providing value to others? Or are you trying to use your service, your business, whatever you're providing as a crutch and hoping that that does the job? So you've got to really truly think, are you creating value? Are you giving value to others? Or are you leaning on something to try to maybe take your attention away? Maybe you're scared, and so you're using that product or service or whatever as a crutch, so you don't have to step out of your comfort zone and face the potential rejection. Because guess what? You're giving value. That's you. And so if you go out there and you're scared to step out of your comfort zone and say, hey, this is me, take it or leave it, but you're using whatever as a crutch to say, well, this way I don't have to step out and show my true self. And I don't have to be worried about being judged. And I don't have to be worried about being rejected. And I don't have to worry about what somebody's going to say about me. Screw that. It goes back to the fact that you can't be fearful to repel the few to attract the many. People are either going to love you or hate you. There's no in between. You got to get away from playing this middle road. And you got to kind of direct people to stay away from that middle road too. Either show up and let me know that you love me or you hate me. I'm going to keep doing my stuff. I'm going to keep doing the business. I'm going to keep doing what I need to. But I need to know where you're at. Are you in the sector of loving me or are you in the sector of hating me? Because if you're in the sector of hating me, I don't need you in my life. I don't need that energy. So just something to consider and whatnot. But thank you guys for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found some value. I think you did. But I just never know. I just come on here and just share away and just talk and whatnot. So, but again, thank you guys for your support. Had a couple thumbs up here, a couple likes, a couple loves in regards to which part. I'm not for sure. But other than that, I'll catch you guys later. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Have a great night.